Alright, hi, and welcome to my channel. My name is Linnea, and today's reading, super simple. Basically, the topic is just what do you need to hear right now. So your only job is to pause, figure out which one of these three piles you feel most drawn to. There will be timestamps down in the description box below so you can quickly jump to whichever reading that you want to listen to. But this one right here is pile 1, and I believe this crystal is banded agate. I might be getting it confused with something else, but I'm pretty sure that's what this is. For pile 2, this is black tourmaline, and for pile 3, we have the Labradorite. So like I said, go ahead and pause. Timestamps are in the description box below, but without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, pile 1. If you chose the banded agate, then this is the reading for you, and this whole face-to-camera thing is very new for me. I wanted to be able to show you the cards. I mean, I guess I can, go like that, but then you can't. I'm gonna have to figure out a different setup. But for now, this is what we're doing. I really wanted to try this out with the face-to-face talking at you rather than you just looking at my hands the whole time. I'll see how I feel about this. I might need a new microphone. It's a whole thing. But I felt really drawn to doing these readings face-to-face. So we're trying a new thing. Hopefully it goes well. Hopefully you can hear me all right. Hopefully everything works. But pile 1, let's go ahead and get into your reading. So what I'm seeing off the bat, you have the movement card, and this was the first card to come out. And as soon as I saw this, I just was picturing in my mind somebody that needs to move on from their current situation. And the cards that came along with this are rejection and creativity. And the creativity card made me think that you are somebody who is a very creative soul. You are not meant to be somebody who does not express their inner thoughts or their creativities or whether you're an artist or a poet or a photographer or you like to talk like this, you like to express yourself, that is something that you need to do. There are people that can go through life where, they don't have these kinds of hobbies, and then there's other people that feel a strong call within themselves, whether it's, I don't know, before you go to bed at night, you daydream about world building and building a world in your mind. Maybe you want to write screenplays, or maybe you want to write movies or TV shows, or maybe you want to write a book. But I see within you there is this need to create, to bring your ideas and your passions into reality in whatever form that takes, whether it's a career or whether it's just, let's actually take this thing seriously and put pen to paper and let's make something instead of just having this as a dream in our minds. I think for a lot of you this could be a career path. But if it's not a specific career path, I see that the universe is pushing you to lean more into your creative side. Because what I'm seeing here is I'm seeing two different forces at odds. You have the rejection card, which is about things stopping in their tracks. Let's say that everybody told you had to be a doctor, and so that's the path you went down. You went down the 8 years of schooling, you did all the tests, and then for some reason you keep hitting roadblocks. Maybe you don't get into the school that you applied for, or a job that you applied for you got rejected from, or it seems like pieces are not falling into place no matter how hard you try, or no matter how many times you apply to different jobs, it's rejection after rejection, or you finally do get an interview at a place, but then you get stuck in traffic. And instead of seeing these things as strings of bad luck, I want you to ask yourself, is there a reason why the universe might be barring me from going after this thing? Really ask yourself, is your heart in this path that you've been trying to do? Because what I'm seeing clearly in my mind, and if this doesn't resonate with you, it could be that this just isn't the reading for you. If it doesn't feel right, it doesn't mean you need to claim it. But I'm picturing somebody who kind of just settled on a job because maybe people told you had to do it, or maybe you looked up top 10 profitable jobs that are easy to get, and you just picked one and you're okay, this is what I'm gonna do, this is what everybody thinks is right, this is what's gonna get me the money, this is what's gonna get the roof over my head. And don't get me wrong, money is very necessary. I'm not saying going after money is a bad thing at all. But if your heart is truly not in something and you're trying to force it, and there is a better path for you that you are meant to go down, the universe is going to push you to pursuing that path that you're supposed to be on. And I think the path that you're supposed to be on isn't really in alignment with the stuff that you've been trying to do. A few years ago, I was really trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. I had no idea, but I knew I had certain interests. I knew, I like cooking. I think cooking is enjoyable, so I went down the route of like researching culinary school. And then, my aunt is a chef, and I talked to her for a long time, and she kind of told me, like, I don't think this is the path for you, because apparently culinary school and becoming a chef takes all the love and joy out of cooking, so you have to be really resilient. It's actually not a very good workspace. Not trying to put down anybody that might want to be a chef, but anyways, so there was just all these different things that I was trying. I was like, oh, I really like plants. I like being outdoors, so maybe I'll go work at a nursery. Maybe I'll learn about botany. Maybe, I don't know. There was all these different paths. But at the end of the day, it didn't matter how many cold calls I did, how many shops I showed up to asking if I could be hired, how many applications I sent through Indeed or LinkedIn. It didn't matter, because the universe was going to guide me to where I'm meant to go. And I feel like I'm at a place in my life where I'm very happy with where I'm at, and I wouldn't have gotten to that unless the universe placed me where I was supposed to go. And sometimes the universe placing us where we're meant to go looks like getting that rejection letter. It looks like being late and not getting the opportunity. It looks like doing dozens of cold calls and getting told no over and over again, because our mind thinks, maybe this is the best route, maybe this is what I'm meant to do. But it's only the universe or God or whatever you want to call it that actually knows where you're meant to go. And so when I look at this rejection card that you have here, sorry, I kicked the camera. When I look at this rejection card here, I'm imagining like a door is closed on a path. And I think this is a path that you wanted to go down. It's a path that you thought would work. It's like that career option that you thought you would be a good fit in. You tried to go after it, but the door was closed. And it feels terrible, because it's like, am I going to be able to make money? Am I going to get a job? Am I going to be able to have XYZ thing? But I'm imagining one door is closed, but there's this whole other open side that you're not even seeing. I'm imagining like a hallway, and there's a door at the end, and you're trying to go to the door, but the door is closed, but the hallway doesn't actually have any walls. But your mind is so tunnel visioned on this one door, this one path, this one opportunity, that you don't even see that you're not even actually stuck in a hallway. It's just a closed door, and you can go out that way, you can go out that way, because what's clarifying this rejection card is the Eight of Wands. And the Eight of Wands is about fast movement. It's about things changing, opportunities coming, things speeding up, things happening. And with this being paired with the rejection card, it's like, you imagine a river and there's a dam. But next to the dam, there's like where the water is flowing. I know that's not actually how dams work, but imagine like half the river is dammed. You are just up against this dam, trying to make it through, and you're like, why am I not going anywhere? When if you set your sights on the other path, going around the dam, opening your mind up to other opportunities, or what do you actually want to do with your life, all of a sudden the river is just carrying you, and like you don't even need to force things. Things are just happening the way that they're meant to. And I think you're getting so tunnel visioned in on what you think your life has to look like, or what you think the correct path for you is. But I think you need to open up your mind to, the saying, rejection is redirection. If you get rejected from something, it's because the universe is redirecting you to where you're actually meant to be. Open up your mind and allow yourself to see, what are the other opportunities that the universe is trying to bring to me? And it may feel like you're stuck. It may feel like you're not moving forward, but it's like there's a river right next to you. All you need to do is jump into it, and that momentum is going to carry you to where you're meant to go. But you're so focused in tunnel vision, looking in the wrong places for opportunity. I think what really you need to hear out of this reading is just that saying, rejection is redirection. If for some reason you've been trying this thing and it's not working, and you even ask yourself and sit with yourself and say, is this even what I want to do? You might come to the answer of, no, you know what, if I stuck with this career path for 50 years, no, I don't think I would be able to express myself creatively. I don't think it would make me super happy. Like, yeah, it would make you money. Yeah, you would be comfortable. Sure, you might be respected. People might approve of what it is that you're doing with your life, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to be the thing that fulfills you. And the universe is trying to bring you to the thing that is meant to fulfill you. Because what I'm seeing here, you have the creativity card clarified by the Hierophant. When I look at the creativity card, I think of thinking outside the box. I think of newness. I think of your unique creative self and your unique ideas that you need to bring out into the world. And it's completely juxtaposed with the Hierophant card, which is all about tradition and rules and structure, and that is a box. It's literally keeping you confined in a box and telling you this is what you do, this is what time you wake up, this is what you eat, this is what you wear, this is when you have free time, this is when you don't have free time. You're not meant to be in that box. This Hierophant card is symbolizing this path that you are not meant for. And it's not like you're not meant to make money, you're not meant to be successful. No, it's you're not meant for a path that is not going to light you up inside. So why continue to push and to try to go after it if it's not going to make you happy? I think the universe and your guides, they're not rejecting you from these things to make you feel bad about yourself or making you feel like you're not going to be successful or you won't be able to take care of yourself. You are being protected from something that you are not meant for because it's not going to make you happy. That's not where you're meant to be. That's not where you're meant to spend your life. Life is finite. Sometimes we forget this. Like, yeah, we know our life isn't forever, but very rarely do we actually sit in the fact that this moment, this life is all that we have. And you don't want it to waste away on something that you don't care about or that you're not passionate about. The universe knows this. God knows this. Your spirit guides know this. And that's why they are protecting you by trying to shift you to where you're meant to go. And so I think you need to have less resistance and really tap into your intuition. I think that is going to be the biggest thing to ease your frustrations and ease your stress, is having that trust that, okay, first of all, everything happens for a reason. If we didn't make it to that opportunity or we got rejected or things didn't work out, it happened for a reason. Having that faith is going to take a lot of stress off your plate. Start with that and say that mantra to yourself over and over again. Rejection is redirection. That is going to help a ton. And just getting really in tune with your intuition, because when I see this Judgment card, this card it symbolizes to me like feeling a calling. Hearing, not physically hearing, but it's like when you see those signs and synchronicities and you intuitively know what the universe is trying to tell you. When you keep seeing 1111 every time that you see, like, I don't know, a makeup ad, for example. Like maybe, let's say when you grew up, you loved playing with makeup. You thought it was so fun. You thought it was a fun art form to do on your own face and onto other people's faces. You got older, you got really good at it. It was something you're super into. But then real life and like obligations and people tell you like you have to have a real job. You can't become a makeup artist. And so you put that creativity on a back burner and you put yourself into a box and you don't let yourself express this. But the universe gives you all these signs, whether it's angel numbers whenever you, hear anything about makeup, or somebody tells you about an opportunity to go become a licensed makeup artist somewhere, and then you hear your favorite song come over the radio. It's like little synchronicities and coincidences lining up with this thing that you love. And it's like the universe is trying to shout your name and say like, hey, hello, maybe this is what we're meant to do. Maybe this is a path for us. And you keep telling yourself it's impossible, or it can't work, or you come up with all these reasons why it's not gonna work out, and you don't know. You literally never know what the future holds. Like, for example, literally just yesterday, in the morning, I had no idea that anything like this was going to be on my radar. I thought, my June is going to be really free. I'm not going to have anything going on. I have no plans for a big trip. I have no idea what's coming in the future. And all of a sudden I get this email about studying taxonomy on a remote island in British Columbia. And like, this is something that might very well be in the works. Like as long as everything lines up at work, I could go study worms on a remote island in Canada and like in one of the most beautiful places in the world. And it's like, this was not on my radar. Like if you told me like, hey, you're gonna go to this remote island, I'll be like, that's impossible. That's not happening. I have work. Like there's no possible way that I could be doing this thing. But life changes like that. Opportunity comes out of nowhere. Things can blindside you and it can be for the better. And so next time you want to tell yourself something is impossible, first of all, nothing is impossible. You can do whatever you want with your life. I could go and break into my neighbor's house right now and steal their TV because I have free will. I'm not going to do it because I don't want the consequences. Just the same way as you could wake up tomorrow and you could apply for, I don't know, makeup school. I don't really know how makeup artist stuff works, but you could do that. You might not want to take on the consequences of, oh, but what if people judge me? Or what if I fail? Or I'm going to have to take off time from work to do this, or I might have to work even harder to make up the hours. Those are all excuses. They're all consequences, but it's not reasons why something is impossible. Literally nothing is impossible. If there is a will, there's a way. And I think what you just need to tap into that will. Tap into your intuition and trust that the universe is guiding you to where you're meant to go. Not just where you're meant to go, but where you will love life the most. And so next time that you feel that little fear come up, I want you to put your faith not just in the universe, that it's leading you in the right direction, but put that faith in yourself, put that faith in your abilities, and lean into this idea that you want to make your life about what you love. Not just about necessity, not just about how can I get a good 9 to 5 that'll keep a roof over my head. Think about more than just surviving. Think about how can I thrive? How can I love my life? And I've honestly found that the most successful people in the world are the ones that just unapologetically followed what they loved doing, and became the best that they could at it. Those are the people that are most successful. Yeah, there's hustlers and people that just make money to make money, but I was listening to Benny Blanco's story. He's the guy that's engaged to Selena Gomez, and he has he was like a big music producer. He's pretty much written every single popular song from the early 2000s. But anyways, I was listening to this interview I found randomly, and it's just, I can see when there's a specific kind of person that just has this love and light within themselves that causes them to glow on the outside. And the way that they talk about their passions and how they just followed it without fear. It's like, oh, I got this idea one day that I wanted to become an artist, and I just did it, and I fell in love with the process, and it was what I love to do. And you see how the universe sets things up for them to be successful because they're doing what they love. Because they're doing it not from a place of, I need to get this done, I need to be the biggest, the best, so that people will like me. It never comes from that place. It comes from a place of doing what you love because you love it. And that's when they become the most successful. That's when you see, everything falling into place because they're in perfect alignment with what they're meant to do. So I know that was a whole rant. I feel like I go on rants like that all the time, but truly I think that you are a very creative soul that is meant to do what you love. And it may feel a little scary because opportunities aren't lining up and you're facing rejections, but maybe it's because you're looking for opportunity in the wrong place. Maybe you're looking for opportunity in the wrong path. And genuinely ask yourself, is this a path that I love, or is this just a path of necessity? So, pile one. That's about everything that I have for you. I hope this reading went well. Like I said, this is my first time filming a tarot reading face-to-face like this, so hopefully you can hear me all right. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of lessons learned, a lot of things I'll tweak about this setup, but I'm liking it so far, and hopefully in the future you'll be able to see myself and the cards at the same time. But yeah, lots of things to work on. But thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye. Alright, pile 2. If you chose the black tourmaline, then this is the reading for you. And I told pile 1, this is actually my first time doing a tarot reading, filming like this. Usually I just do top down, so it's a learning curve. There's always things I'm gonna learn and then have to do different the next time, so bear with me. I hope everything sounds okay, you can hear me all right. I know you can't see the cards, but it's because I have to be so close to you because I don't have the right microphone yet. It's a whole thing. I would show you. Here's your cards. But for now, I'm just gonna be talking at you. So put the phone down and just listen, because there's not really gonna be much to look at except for my face. But today's reading is just what you need to hear right now. And for pile 2, what I'm seeing is you literally just need to take a break and take some time to yourself, because I'm imagining somebody that keeps asking the universe, like, I need your guidance, I need advice, I don't know what I'm doing, and like you're asking the same question over again. Like, for example, it's like let's say you're making a cake and you're like, what kind of flour do I need to buy? And you keep asking the universe, but it's like you're asking the universe while you're on a treadmill. You're like, what kind of flour do I need to buy? Or while you're trying to fill out paperwork, you're asking the universe this question, or you're trying to ask yourself this question. And you're hanging out with friends and like you're thinking to yourself, like, what kind of flour do I need to buy? And it's like You're just asking the same question, and the reason that you're not getting an answer, the reason that you can't figure it out is because you have so much going on externally. You have people talking your ear off, you have emails pinging on your phone, you have messages going off, you have all these tasks on your to-do list, and this problem that you have, I don't think that this is something that has a simple answer necessarily. It might be an existential, like, what is my purpose in life, or what path am I meant to be on, or what career am I supposed to do? And I think that you can do all the research that you want, but I think what you're really trying to grasp is you're trying to feel intuitively what feels right. And the only way that you can hear your intuition is when you sit in that stillness, when you sit by yourself with nothing going on externally and you are able to just fully look within. And I don't think that you've really given yourself that time. I think you keep expecting the answer to come. Like you're going to drive past the perfect billboard that's going to have the answer you're looking for, or you're going to magically get a download and all of a sudden it's going to be like a light bulb moment. You're like, this is what I'm meant to do, or this is the answer, or this is the brand of flower I'm looking for. But I think what you're really just trying to do, what you really need to do, is you need to feel and hear your intuition. And intuition comes from within. It's something that we can make space for, we can be quiet for, we can open our mind for, but it's something that comes to us, really. It's not something that you can grab a hold of and force to come to you, and I'm forcing this answer to come to me. This is something that you need to make space for. As I say that, you literally have the space card. It's literally just blank space. It literally is emptiness, complete emptiness. So I think, obviously, it's a privilege to be able to take time off work or to take time to yourself, especially if maybe you have kids or you have obligations where you can't just take time and be like, I'm just gonna go on a road trip by myself. Like maybe you can't drop everything. But you need to ask yourself, what can I cut out of my life, even for just a little bit? I think you are somebody whose identity is built on how hardworking you are, how good you are under pressure, how many things that you can take on and do. And yeah, like it's great to have the capacity for those things. It's great to be a hard worker, but you are not a workhorse. You're not a machine. You're a human being that needs breaks, needs space to breathe. And you are not capable of holding this mountain of work and obligation and responsibility on you 24/7. That's like, I don't know if you have kids, but a good example is like, back in the caveman days, it wasn't just you and your partner and maybe parents raising a child. You had a whole tribe. You had, the kid's cousins could hang out with them, or your siblings could watch your kid while you went off and did your own thing, or so you could have time to yourself. And, following this thread, like what are some things that you haven't been able to hand off to other people? Are there no other people in your life that can shoulder some burdens? At work, if you have a ton of stuff to do, could you maybe reach out to one of your coworkers and say, hey, I've been trying to get all this stuff done, but I just don't really have the bandwidth. I have so many other things to do. Could you help me out with this thing? Or talking to your spouse and saying like, hey, I know that I've always been the one to do our finances and I've always been the one to stay on top of these things, but maybe this year we get some help from a financial advisor, or maybe this year could you take on this for me? I really need some time to just have less going on. I need some more bandwidth. In any aspect of your life where you can do this, I think step one is taking some of that weight off of you, because I feel like your back is breaking, and there's a reason why you can't hear your intuition. Is because there's things shouting in your ears constantly. Whether it's just like the sound of an email ping just spikes your blood pressure out of nowhere, and it's like maybe it's just a spam email, but it's just that feeling like repeatedly having that tension. And yeah, maybe that email goes away, but it leaves a tension with it. It leaves a little layer of stress in your mind of what's the next email that's going to come? What's the next thing that I'm going to have to worry about? What's the next thing I'm going to have to fix? I think what you need is time to breathe, space to breathe. And I can't obviously give specifics because this is a general reading. Your life is going to look completely different from one another. But for me, for example, if I was giving this reading to myself, I'm somebody that has a ton going on at all times. I have a full-time job, so that's 40 hours out of the week. And then every day I try to dedicate to something. You know, Fridays are date nights for me and my partner. I try to see my best friends at least once or twice a week. And then I have my work friends, and then I also do jujitsu, so that's my obligation. I like to spend time with family. And then I have other responsibilities. I like to do these videos. I have a lot going on. Of course, I have a long to-do list of all these things I want to get done. And so it's like, okay, what can I take some time off from? I love my friends, but maybe I'll say, you know what, guys, I love you, but maybe I can only do one day this week, or maybe I can't do anything this week. And it sucks. You feel like you're not just letting yourself down, you're letting them down, but I know my friends would understand. Maybe I tell my partner, like, hey, I can't plan a huge, wonderful date this Friday. Can we just do something chill? Can we just eat in and watch a movie? Maybe I take the week off from jujitsu, you know, I don't go to the gym that week. And, you know, it sucks, but maybe what you need is just a week with no obligations. You're not setting a precedent moving forward where you do nothing and don't spend any time with anybody, but you're just saying, this week, I'm blocking this off for me time. I just need days in the afternoon where I have nothing, no obligations, nothing except I can just sit on this bed and just think. And I think, you know, really get in tune with yourself. Go on walks by yourself and just talk aloud to yourself. You know, it's easy in our minds when we're silent and we can just think on these things. Our brain can rush off to a million different things. Our brain can go down so many different threads at once, but if you force yourself to talk aloud, it's forcing yourself to slow down and go down one thread at a time. And often that's when I find that I have revelations about things that I was questioning about, because all of a sudden I've made myself slow down and talk about it out loud. And then I start realizing, oh, I'm saying new things that I haven't thought about previously. You know, maybe what you need to do is journal. Maybe what you need to do is call up your parent or call up an old friend and say, hey, I've got some stuff on my mind. Like, do you have any advice? And I feel like you are just the kind of person that has always felt the need to do it on your own. Felt the need to shoulder all the responsibility, felt the need to keep all these plates spinning, and you just can't do it. It doesn't mean you're not hardworking. It doesn't mean that you're not capable. It means you're human. A human being needs breaks. You need time to connect to yourself, and I think that you are so detached from yourself, that's what's causing this issue. And reattaching to yourself, it's not supposed to be a difficult task that takes a lot of brain power. It's like, okay, I need to do this and this and this. Sometimes reconnecting to ourselves looks like, how can I make myself comfortable right now? Oh, my feet are a little cold, so I'm going to put on some comfy socks. My back kind of hurts, so maybe I'm going to do some stretches. I'm kind of hungry, so I'm going to intentionally put my mind to making some food that I know I'm going to love, that I know is going to make my body feel good. Spending time with yourself, not just checking boxes on a to-do list of things to do, but intentionally being where your feet are, being with yourself. I think you have so many things disrupting your life at all times, whether, like, I just keep going back to, like, email pings. Like, it doesn't matter how zen you are, how relaxed you are, that ping goes off and it just lights up your nervous system. Like, your blood pressure spikes, your shoulders get tense, your breathing is like a little tenser, and it's all because it's all these external things coming in and disrupting you. And you literally have the disruption card clarifying the Four of Swords reversed. And the Four of Swords, when it's upright, is supposed to be about rest. It's supposed to be about relaxation, taking a break. But it's reversed because of these disruptions. You don't have any time to rest. You don't have any time to meditate or to be on your own. And I'm not necessarily saying that meditation is for everyone. Meditation doesn't necessarily work for everyone, but maybe what you need is to take up painting. You know, I found that, you know, I'm not the best at meditating, but when I do things with my hands, you know, when I'm building something like Legos or I'm painting, my brain fully turns off and I'm only focused on the movement of my hands and the task at hand, literally. I think that when you can do this, when you can make space, shut off that phone, like physically remove it from the room if you have to. Take the week off. Tell people, like, I can't have any obligations or responsibilities. I need this time as a break. You know, call in sick. Make that space. And then I think that's when all of a sudden the realizations are going to come in. This flood of intuition will come back to you. It will literally wash you clean from the inside out, because reconnecting with yourself is the key that you need to unlocking all this lack of understanding that you have. Whether it's about, am I on the right path? Am I doing the right thing? Should I take this path or this path? Should I take this option or this option? You know, I feel like you have so much in your mind that you can't figure out, and it's because your mind is like spaghetti. And you can't untangle the spaghetti unless you make some time and space to do so. But I think once you do so, once you do this, once you relax, give yourself that space, these realizations are going to come to you. Your intuition is going to come to you. These things that you've been worrying about are suddenly going to seem so small, and it's like, oh, the answer was right in front of my face. Or like, you imagine trying to find like the code to an old account and like you can't figure it out, and it's like, oh, the sticky note was literally on the wall the entire time and you just never noticed because you were so busy thinking about other things that you just kept walking past it. Like, it's that kind of thing. I think whatever answer that you've been searching for, whatever question you've been turning over in your head over and over again, the answer will come, but you just need to make that space. Make space for yourself. Make time to reconnect to yourself. I think your relationship with yourself should be the most important relationship that you have. But it's like, it's been on the back burner for so long. You are so far disconnected from yourself. It doesn't even matter that you're in the same body as yourself, because mentally you're a million miles away. Constantly thinking about other things, thinking about other people, other responsibilities. The answer is simple, but it's not easy for you, a workaholic, whose identity is built upon how hardworking you are. When you force yourself to take a break, you feel like you're betraying yourself. That's why we don't like to do it. We don't like to feel like slackers. We don't like to feel like we're putting important things to the side. It feels wrong. It even feels a little stressful. But I promise you, you will benefit from this so much. You just need to take that time, reconnect with yourself, and the answers will come. The answers were within you the whole time. Your ability to intuitively feel what's right has always been with you. But it's a matter of, okay, I'm going to turn off the music. I'm going to get rid of distractions. I'm going to close the door to the rest of the world. And I'm just going to be with me. So, pile 2, that's pretty much everything that I have for you. I know, short and sweet, and I probably said the same thing a million times, but I feel like that's just what you need. It's simple, but it's not necessarily easy, especially if you're a little stubborn, but I believe in you. And I truly wish you the best. I hope this brought you the clarity that you need, and I hope you find the answers that you're looking for, but I know you can do it. So, that's everything that I have. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye. Alright, pile 3. Last but certainly not least, if you chose the Labradorite, then this is the reading for you. And I told the other 2 piles, and I'll tell you, this is my first time filming a tarot reading face-to-face like this, so hopefully everything sounds alright, hopefully everything's in frame. I know you can't see the tarot cards, and that kind of sucks, but it's because I need a new microphone, some sort of setup so I can place you further away, because right now it's not going to work like that, so I apologize. I can kind of... There, you see your cards, and that's all you get. Sorry. But, anyways, this reading is going to be all about what you need to hear right now. And this reading is actually kind of interesting. This is not the usual reading, not the kind of reading that I'm used to, and I imagine that this is going to be for a very small group of people. It's not going to be a very wide audience, because what I'm seeing is, I think that you are the kind of person that has always had a very strong faith in being on the right path, following your purpose. And especially when I say faith, I think that you are somebody who has a relationship with God. Or you know how people talk about having a relationship with God or the universe, in the sense that, you know, you pray, you follow the signs and synchronicities, you believe everything happens for a reason, and you physically feel like you are guided. I think you have always been the kind of person that has had that faith, has those feelings, and it's never done you wrong. And I feel like you're at a point in your life where you have all the things that you've desired. Now, this might look differently for everybody, but for example, let's say you have all the money that you've ever wanted. You have the big house with the nice front yard, you have the partner, you have the 2.5 kids, you have the cars, you have the friend group, whatever. You have all the things. Life has done well for you. You are very blessed. And you're comfortable. But I think it's gotten to a point where it's not that these things are bad, but you're realizing that there is a certain level of emptiness that comes when you have filled yourself up with things that, yes, they can take care of you. A house can protect you from the elements. A house can give you comfort. You know, you can have a nice fluffy bed that keeps you warm at night. You can have cars that get you from point A to point B, and they might look nice, they might get compliments, but these things don't necessarily give your life meaning. They don't fulfill you. And I don't mean to say this, but I know I brought up like the perfect partner and kids, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about things. I feel like you are the kind of person that has achieved much in your life, and you have all these things, and yet you're at this point where you thought it would solve all your problems. You thought that, you know, when I have this perfect house, when I have all these things, then suddenly life will be fulfilled. I will have reached my peak and I'll be happy. But you're realizing you're still the same person. The same person as you were when maybe you lived in a 1-bedroom apartment or studio. The same person, you know, before you had all these things. And you thought that this would solve all your problems, that these things would be the source of your fulfillment. And they're not. They're tools. They're very useful tools. They bring you comfort and security, and that is very much essential. Money is a very valuable tool. I'm never going to tell you that money is a source of evil. I think money is just a tool. What you do with it is up to you. But I think that you were expecting to get a certain fulfillment once you had these things. Now that all your boxes are checked, you're realizing, I'm not fulfilled. And so you have this movement card coming up with the 6 of Pentacles. And I think what you need to do is you need to move, whether it's physically or moving job-wise, you need to move onto a path that actually gives you this feeling of fulfillment that you're searching for. Sorry, I kicked the camera. I keep kicking the camera. I apologize if that bothers you. What I'm imagining is, you know, I was kind of sitting with myself, and I was asking myself, like, what do I actually want out of life? What makes me happy? What fulfills me? And I realized, I was like, why do I like these videos so much? And it's because I feel like I'm genuinely helping people. And not everybody that comes across my videos are going to resonate with them, but I have gotten messages from people saying how much these videos have helped them or how they've given them clarity. And it's like, knowing that what I have done has brightened up somebody's day, that makes me happy. And when I see those videos on TikTok of somebody like helping out someone in need, like, I don't know if you've ever heard of this guy, SB Mowing, but he's a guy that he just, he does landscaping for free. Like, he'll mow somebody's lawn for free. And yeah, for some people they're like, oh, thank you so much. Like, that was so great. Thank you for doing that. Like, it was super helpful. I couldn't have done it myself, or I couldn't afford to do it myself. But there was one video that he did, and he was cleaning up the yard of this like 95-year-old woman who could barely get down the stairs. And because he had done this, not only did it allow her yard and her home to be a little bit more accessible for her, but all of his followers started being like, how can we help? And they ended up raising like $5 million or something crazy on GoFundMe for this woman. And now she's going to have like live-in support where somebody's going to be able to take care of her. They're replacing her porch so that like she can walk down the stairs. They're making her home more accessible for her because, you know, God knows how long she has left, but now she can be comfortable. And it's like seeing those kinds of things, seeing people take their energy and their resources and come together to help other people in need, that's what lights me up. And so whether I'm doing something through this or whether I'm physically helping somebody out, that's what gives my life fulfillment. And yeah, I have my own dreams and aspirations. I would love to, you know, I've pictured what my dream home looks like and the dream location I'd like to live in, and I still aspire for those things, to have those things. But I know that what fulfills me, what my passion and purpose is, it lies outside of those things. It is not simply to achieve having that house. I know that what brings my life meaning is putting a smile on other people's faces, helping other people, guiding other people, even when it's something as simple as opening their mind to new opportunities or new pathways of, you know, encouraging people to pursue their passions or pursue creativity, pursue what makes them happy. That's what makes me happy. And so I know that was like a whole long rant, but what I'm seeing for you is you have this movement card clarified by the Six of Pentacles. And the Six of Pentacles, if you look at it, is literally about charity. It's about giving to other people. It's about helping other people. And you are showing up as this King of Pentacles, somebody that has resources, has the means to help. And I don't mean that you need to give away all your resources. I don't think that you need to give away all your money and like that's your purpose. But I think that if you are somebody who has the time, who has the physical strength, who has the ability to give back to others, I think that could be something that you really love doing. You know, something that my mom did when I was younger, not super young, but she loved crocheting. And so something that she would do, she would crochet and like knit little baby hats for like little premature babies. And you could donate these to hospitals so that those little premature babies could have a little hat. Because like they didn't make them for premature babies. They're so small. So like lots of women or men or whoever would knit these little hats. And like she loved doing that. And like it made her feel good. And she did it to the point that she got like wrist problems and she couldn't knit anymore. But like there are so many different ways that we can give back to the world and give to other people. And I truly think, you know, I don't think charity and giving has to be the end-all be-all of what makes our life feel fulfilled, but it certainly puts a smile on a lot of people's faces. And humans are empathetic creatures. You know, when you make somebody feel good, it makes you feel good. It makes you feel like, I feel fulfilled. This could be a purpose. So I don't know what yours is exactly. I don't know exactly what form it's going to take. But I think the spirit, I just said the spirit. I think spirit or the universe is trying to guide you towards a path that actually has fulfillment. And this could be some sort of path in which you help other people. You know, maybe you have the house and the yard and like you're not sure what to do in this big old house and you're like, well, now what? I'm still kind of unfulfilled. Like, yes, I have all these things, but I don't know what I want to do next. Maybe you look up, you know, charities you can donate your time to, some way that you can help out. Maybe there are little crafts that you enjoy making, you know. I was researching not-for-profits and charities and like the difference between them, and I saw that there was this person that they made like little postcards with like little nice messages of encouragement for people who may need it. And like they set up a website so that you could order some for your friends or family, like send a nice little message to them. And like that's so simple. And you know, there's just somebody at home with like this pretty cardstock and like their favorite pens and stickers and stuff, and they think about like what would be a wonderful message to give somebody, and then they like make this little thing, they handcraft this thing, and not only are they giving to somebody else, but they're doing something they enjoy. Like you could make origami, or you could decorate little notepads, or you know, you could make pottery, whatever it is that you love doing. Not only could you do that thing, but you could also do it in such a way that it gives back to other people and makes you feel fulfilled. I think what your life is missing is purpose. And I think a purpose that would light you up is knowing that you're helping others. And so I think Spirit wants you to take this time to really think like, what's something I would love to do? Like just another idea off the bat is one of my best friends growing up, her mom, her parents retired really early. Her dad made a ton of money at some company and they got to retire. And the mom got really into like yoga and spiritual stuff. And she got into like Reiki, which if you don't know what that is, it's kind of like spiritual healing stuff. She did it for me once and it was kind of relaxing. It was kind of nice. But she literally volunteers to go to hospitals and she does Reiki on people who are in pain or people with cancer or people who have been staying in the hospital for a long time. And you know, she doesn't even touch these people, just kind of hovers her hands over and does this spiritual healing stuff. And she loves doing that stuff. She's super into this whole spiritual, like crystals stuff, and that's what she does. And she feels like she's giving back to people, easing their pain, you know, even if people say it's just placebo, it's genuinely helping these people, genuinely making them feel better. And it makes her feel good to know that she's doing that for other people. And so I bring up all these different ideas to show you, like, there are so many non-traditional ways to help people, other than just volunteering at a soup kitchen or giving away money. A lot of these things can be done for free. And I think all your life is missing is like, where can I find that little bit of fulfillment? Where can I find that little bit of something that ignites that spark in me? Because I feel like you have everything. You're very blessed. Life has treated you well. But things and circumstances aren't necessarily going to fulfill you. It's your job to go out and figure out, what is my purpose? What do I want to do with my life, with my health, with my money, with my time, with my energy? How can I transform this into something that gives to others and gives to me? And, at the end of the day, it doesn't even need to necessarily be something that gives to others or is charitable. You could find make your own business where you sell cookies and, this fulfills you. It doesn't have to be not-for-profit. Sometimes seeing somebody bite into a cookie you made and seeing their face light up makes you feel good. To, know that this thing that you did and created makes somebody happy. So, I know that was a lot, but I think, the final 2 cards that you have here, are the Balance card and the King of Cups. I think that this is talking about, the end state here is just complete emotional balance, emotional fulfillment. To be this King of Cups, this person that is so secure in their foundation, not just, because you start off as this King of Pentacles. You don't just want to be confident and secure in the things that you have, in the abundance that you have. You want to be confident and secure in yourself, in your emotions, in your life, in your purpose, in your path, in your spirituality. And so right now you're this guy. And yeah, he has all the abundance in the world. It's great. He has the money. He wants for nothing. But this guy, he doesn't have all that abundance, but he has a certain level of emotional stability, harmony, happiness, and fulfillment. And that is the end goal. This is great. This is a stepping stone. This is your end goal. This is where you want to be. Emotional stability, happiness, and fulfillment. And I think the stepping stone in between that is finding what you want to do with your life. You might be older, you could be in your 50s or your 60s, but there's still life to be lived. And therefore, there is still something to do with your life. It doesn't just need to look at a lifelong career. Sometimes retirement is the beginning of a new chapter. I mean, it's literally a beginning of a new chapter of your life. But sometimes it's the beginning of a new path and new purpose. Your purpose doesn't need to stay the same your whole life. Maybe your purpose at one point was to be a carpenter, and then your purpose was to raise kids, and now your purpose is to figure out what you want to do next. And maybe what you want to do next is run a charity, or, put googly eyes on rocks and drop them off at people's houses, because they're cute and funny. Something like that. Something that makes you happy, makes other people happy. Sometimes all you need to do is make other people happy, and it makes you happy. But pile 3, that is everything that I have for you. I truly wish you the best of luck. I think journeys like this, where you're just figuring things out and exploring and finding what you love, sometimes that's the best part of the journey. And I know it's going to be so exciting when you find that thing and you start doing that thing that you love and you're going down that path. But right now, you're in the figuring it out stage, and that doesn't have to be scary or stressful. I don't know. Maybe that's just me going on a tangent about enjoying the journey and not just the destination, but I truly wish you the best. I hope this brought you some clarity, and I wish you the best on your path to finding what fulfills you. So, thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.